The story begins with a mysterious encounter involving a creature called a tanuki. The characters notice something unusual and spot what appears to be a new type of yokai that seems to want them to follow it. The atmosphere is filled with curiosity and intrigue as they try to make sense of this strange situation. The scene shifts to noticing a girl who appears unwell. Upon making eye contact with her, something strange happens, and suddenly they find themselves surrounded by many people. The situation becomes increasingly puzzling as they try to understand what just occurred and why there are suddenly so many others present. The focus turns to themes of anxiety and creative inspiration. There is discussion about treatment helping with relaxation, followed by addressing feelings of remorse about past actions and dealing with present troubles through a positive mindset. The scene has a therapeutic atmosphere. The character Yumezuki Mizuki, Mizzuki for short, introduces herself as a Yumezuki baku, a special type of yokai from Inazuma. She explains that baku creatures feast on bad dreams and need their own dreams to digest them. The earlier encounter happened in her dream space, where she digests bad dreams. Mizzuki apologizes for accidentally eating one of the traveler's good dreams, explaining that dreams are precious and it's against their rules to eat good dreams without permission. Surprisingly, the traveler seems unaffected, which Mizzuki finds remarkable since most people become depressed after losing good dreams. As compensation, Mizzuki gives them a VIP pass to the Aisa Bathhouse, where she works. The establishment combines spa services, fine dining, and psychological treatment. The pass grants access to their highest-tier services at no cost. This generous offer excites the characters, especially regarding the dining options. At the bathhouse, they meet the owner, who reveals business struggles and Mizzuki's role as a major shareholder and renowned clinical psychologist. The setting introduces two more baku staff members, the clumsy but well-meaning Shion and the seemingly lazy Murasaki. The VIP services are explained in detail, including spa treatments, dining, and psychological consultancy. Mizzuki suggests starting with psychological consultancy, which involves having bad dreams eaten. She arranges for the traveler to receive treatment from her, while another character gets food therapy from Shion. Mizzuki reveals her personal interest in the traveler's unique psychology. She prepares to begin the therapeutic session, setting up an environment to explore deep emotions hidden within dreams. The scene ends as she starts to establish the ground rules for their session. A relaxing therapy session begins with soothing incense from Sumeru, described as having the scent of dreams. The client is instructed to close their eyes and focus on breathing while preparations are made. There is some minor confusion as items need to be located and arranged properly. The therapy continues with a visual exercise involving a special painting containing hidden figures called baku. The client is guided to search for these creatures within the artwork. This leads to a progressive state of relaxation and drowsiness as they begin their journey into dreamland. The session deepens through guided imagery and touch therapy. The client holds the therapist's hand while imagining pleasant sensory experiences like touching sakura blossoms, squirrel fur, and beach sand. These sensations gradually fade into darkness before a guiding light and voice appear. The therapeutic journey continues, exploring emotions of longing, despair, and regret. The client is encouraged to keep moving forward without looking back. They are guided toward peaceful imagery of falling sakura petals, playing squirrels, and ocean waves. As the session concludes, the client is gently brought back to awareness using a special incense to clear drowsiness. Both participants report feeling refreshed and relaxed afterward, though some deeper emotional work remains to be done. A visitor named Miko arrives, revealing herself as an old friend of the therapist. she brings concerning news about business competition from someone named Emera Ichegensai, who has been drawing away clients with claims of revolutionary treatment methods. The discussion reveals tension between different approaches to helping people find happiness, whether through therapy, hot springs, or other means. The therapist acknowledges being in competition with Miko, but maintains professional boundaries about sharing personal concerns. The scene shifts to investigating the competitor Emera Ichegensai. At his location, there is a long wait list with numbered tickets being distributed. The atmosphere is notably different from the peaceful bathhouse setting. Conversations with Ichegensai's clients reveal strong criticism of the bathhouse therapy. They claim his treatment permanently eliminates troubles after just a few sessions, while criticizing the bathhouse as overpriced and ineffective, requiring repeated visits. The conversation begins with people discussing their strong appreciation for counseling from Emera Ichegensai, expressing eagerness to return for more sessions despite being finished. However, someone named Pamon is growing increasingly suspicious and distrustful of these enthusiastic clients. New clients arrive seeking information about what to expect from their upcoming session. Previous clients explain that no preparation is needed. They just need to show up and take a seat. They mention the relaxing incense that gets lit during sessions, creating an instantly calming atmosphere. During a session, a client discusses their anger management issues. The counselor claims they can remove negative emotions and defective feelings from the mind, leaving it healthy and free of distressing thoughts. Clients later note they cannot remember the specific guidance, but confirm it was effective. Someone shares insider information about Emera Ichegensai's background, revealing he previously had severe anger issues that caused neighborhood conflicts. However, after some kind of transformation, he completely changed his personality and became extremely cheerful, even befriending his former enemies. After a long wait, new clients arrive only to find the clinic suddenly closed because Emera Ichegensai needs rest. This creates frustration among those who had been waiting, but they are told to return earlier the next day. Questions arise about the legitimacy of the spiritual guidance that supposedly eliminates all troubles. Some express skepticism, noting that even skilled psychologists like Mizzuki cannot achieve such results. The discussion points out how unusual it would be for humans to exist without any worries. While reviewing patient records, important information surfaces about Emera, likely Emera Ichegensai's true identity. Records describe him as extremely argumentative, prone to tantrums, and obsessed with winning debates. His behavior was so disruptive, he even wrote complaint letters to authorities. Mizzuki, a professional psychologist, shares their experience treating this difficult client. They diagnosed him with issues stemming from rejection, lack of accomplishment, and poor social connections. Despite initial progress in therapy, the situation eventually deteriorated. The conversation continues with discussions about reporting the suspicious counselor to authorities for fraudulent practices. However, an unexpected twist occurs when previously skeptical clients return seeking therapy, creating confusion about the true nature of the situation. After a successful investigation, a discussion about completing the VIP experience at the bathhouse takes place, specifically mentioning the need to try out the hot springs and highly recommended snacks that were missed during the previous visit. While looking for Mizzuki, Mr. Ikaro explains that she regularly disappears during evening hours for relaxation time, though he doesn't know exactly where she goes or what she does during these periods. Upon finding Mizzuki, she explains how digesting bad dreams affects her emotionally. Unlike other baku who barely notice the flavors of human nightmares, her deep understanding of human psychology allows her to fully experience and process the complex emotions within the dreams. Mizzuki discusses a situation with difficult customers who were misled by a swindler. She shows empathy for their desire to permanently forget their troubles, though acknowledges this isn't realistically possible. The conversation ends with her suggesting they return tomorrow for another appointment. A crisis situation develops when Murasaki and Shion experience severe dream indigestion. The intensity of certain customers' nightmares is causing this unusual reaction, leading to an urgent need to track down these clients and understand the root cause. Upon finding the previous customers, they exhibit strange behavior, seeming unnaturally happy and completely forgetting their visit to the bathhouse. Their responses appear disconnected from reality, raising concerns about their mental state. Through accessing their subconscious, it becomes clear that their negative emotions haven't disappeared, but have been forcefully isolated. One customer struggles with anger management, while another has a fear of stormy seas, both issues now festering in their subconscious minds. Mizzuki determines that Emera Ichegensai is using inhuman methods to manipulate people's emotions, potentially causing permanent psychological damage. The victims show signs of denial and fear when pressed about their experiences. The group commits to helping resolve the situation and getting the bathhouse back to normal operations. Mizzuki warns them not to confront Emera Ichegensai directly, instead requesting they message her if they locate him and keep watch until she arrives. A group decides to track down someone who seems hard to find. They realize their current leads are not very helpful, but remember getting a tip about a location the previous day. With renewed determination, they head to the Grand Narukami Shrine for more information. At the shrine, they encounter someone who had previously given them hints about the person they are seeking. This person reveals more details about their target, including that he once went by the name Amara Chuya and had attended a publishing house event. The group learns he lives at an unusual address due to his antisocial nature. The Shrine Maiden explains her connection to Mizzuki, revealing they were former classmates. She wants to help Mizzuki's bathhouse business, but must be careful about how she offers assistance, knowing Mizzuki sees her as a competitor and wants to prove herself independently. The group arrives at the location with Mizzuki joining them. They detect a strange fragrance coming from inside. Mizzuki warns them about potential danger and asks them to stay close. The interior appears creepy, with a feeling of being watched. They encounter Amara Chuya, now known as Emera Ichegensai. He presents himself as extremely polite but unsettling. He claims to have overcome his negative emotions completely, considering his past self and former name as something to be discarded. Mizzuki presents 2 case studies to test his therapeutic approach: a soldier with anger issues and a fisherman with fear of the sea. Emera suggests simply eliminating these negative emotions, but Mizzuki explains how these emotions actually serve important purposes in both cases. Mizzuki explains that negative emotions are essential for a healthy human psyche and cannot simply be eliminated. She argues that emotions need to exist in balance, and removing them entirely is just as harmful as letting them dominate. She points out that Emera has merely switched from one dysfunctional extreme to another. Emera dismisses Mizzuki's analysis, claiming his current state is perfect because he no longer experiences nightmares. He refuses to be provoked and maintains his belief that eliminating negative emotions is the solution, despite evidence of the harm this approach causes. The scene reveals that the current situation is taking place inside a nightmare. What was thought to be the elimination of negative emotions was actually a deception. These emotions were simply separated and buried deep in the subconscious mind, where they festered uncontrollably. This made the situation much worse than other victims' experiences. A creature reveals itself as Karayumai, the last surviving nightmare monster, youkai, from Inazuma. These creatures used to feed on human nightmares. This particular monster has found a way to potentially revive its extinct species through manipulating human consciousness. The group discovers they are trapped inside the dream state, lured by a mysterious fragrance. The only way to escape is to defeat the monster in its true form. Despite the intense nature of this nightmare and the risks involved, they must proceed to stop the monster from causing more harm. The group explores the dark subconscious layer filled with emotional fragments. These fragments contain memories of rejection, anger, and sadness. Each time they approach a fragment, they experience the emotions intensely. The atmosphere is heavy with negative feelings and painful memories. They discover that human emotions exist in a delicate balance. The monster disrupted this balance by isolating negative emotions, allowing them to grow out of control. To restore balance, excess negative emotions must be removed. Through a special process involving sorrow as a medium, these toxic emotions can be separated and dealt with. The group enters the Borderland, a dream within a dream space in the collective subconscious. The monster has been hiding here and is attempting to create copies of itself to place in every person's dreams across the nation. This would effectively revive its species, but pose a massive threat. To counter the nightmare monster's power, they begin collecting sweet dreams and happy memories, including experiences of chasing tanuki, watching fireworks, and climbing trees. These positive memories will be used as weapons against the darkness. The final confrontation reveals the monster's true plan to create perfect hosts by trapping humans in fantasy worlds. While this would ensure the survival of both humans and nightmare creatures, it relies on deception and the repression of genuine emotions. The approach simply swaps one extreme for another, rather than seeking true balance. A mysterious presence has been secretly observing and gathering information, showing complete disregard for human psychological well-being. This entity suggests they had already won some form of conflict before it began. Meanwhile, there are concerns about growing stronger, while Sweet Dream's power has been depleted. A discussion about negative emotions being an inevitable part of the human mind takes place. Without proper guidance through dream therapy, people tend to avoid facing their negative emotions, instead choosing to escape into illusions rather than deal with reality. Various emotional experiences are described, including longing from separation, despair from failure, and regret from missed opportunities. These difficult feelings ultimately lead to growth, courage, and appreciation, followed by renewed hope and passion. An intense confrontation occurs involving thunderglass, resulting in the destruction of a false dream. The situation becomes dangerous as water is heard, suggesting a potential threat in the real world. The group realizes they need to wake up quickly to escape danger. After the conflict ends, a discussion begins about the nature of dreams. It's revealed that humans typically experience more nightmares than happy dreams, with positive dreams being rare and fleeting. Most people struggle to process negative emotions, leading to bottled-up feelings that transform into bad dreams. A reflection on the business of dealing with nightmares reveals hope for helping people process emotions through psychotherapy. The goal is to enable individuals to handle their own nightmares, creating space for more positive dreams that can be shared with others. The scene shifts to show increased business activity following someone named Emera Ichegensai's removal. VIP passes are distributed to important customers, and there's a general atmosphere of recovery and improvement in operations. Lady Guji arrives with news about a rescued person who survived but regressed mentally. A conversation reveals complex relationships and strategic decisions made during previous events, highlighting the political and personal considerations involved. The conversation concludes with insights about handling personal troubles and emotions. There is an acknowledgement that while everyone faces difficulties, solutions exist for every problem. The scene ends with business returning to normal as new customers arrive.